that time of the week one more time. It's live, and it's in the interest of the people. They're going to make you laugh, and they'll even make you mad enough to chew nails. Either way, they have you tuned in. So sit back in that easy chair and get close to a phone, because you can call and talk to them. You better get you something to drink, because you may need it also. Take it away, guys.
It's in your best interest to be right here with us in the interest of the people, because we have got a full show tonight.
Tell them about it.
Yeah.
Tell them about it.
I'm ready.
It is a good program tonight. We've got a full program. We're going to have Mr. James Anderson, who is the one of the original members of getting this TV station on the air. He will be talking. He was one of the really incorporated.
Yeah, we went through some stuff.
through the years, and we'll talk a little bit about that. We're also going to have a Mr. Brian White. It's going to be a Brian White Day this coming weekend and Saturday. We're going to have him. We're going to have Dr. Billy Hawkins, president of Talladega College, be with us in just a little bit by phone, talking about all the good things that's going on in the college and with the choir, outstanding stuff with the choir, and some things are going to be coming up next week. We can't share everything with you, but it's going to be great news next week. And then we're going to have Dr. Angela Fears. She's running for state representative on an independent ticket, District 32. And she's in the studio with us, and we'll be talking with her. And she and her son and daughter and another gentleman are going to be singing a little bit. Not only is she talented education-wise, she's a talented singer, and we're looking forward to talking with her a little bit later on. But don't forget Rehab First at McGuffey Healthcare in Gaston, one of our sponsors. They're there 24/7. Anything you can need in the line of rehab. If you had an operation, or if you've knee injury, football player, you've got knee injury, been in a car wreck, injured yourself, whatever, Rehab First is the place to go for any kind of rehab. They got private rooms, 24-hour RN coverage, wound care certified staff, and the list is endless of what they can do for you at Rehab First.
I might go stay just for a rest. I fell off the tractor today.
I've heard of people falling off of the wagon, but falling off of the tractor.
Yeah. I bush hogged 4 acres with a lawnmower.
Oh, Lord. You ever thought about getting a mule and a dish?
No, he won't eat it all.
Rehab First. Charlotte may need Rehab First. Rehab First, McGuffey Healthcare at Gaston. We'll be talking more about them in just a little bit later on. A couple of announcements here. October the 29th at the First Free Will Baptist Church in Talladega, they're having a Hallelujah Carnival. That's the 29th of October at it's 1800 hours. That's 6 o'clock, I guess. First Free Will Baptist Church on Whitson Road, and that's Hallelujah Carnival. We've got another event going on out at Brecon, Bunker of Doom, located at the top trails in Talladega, October the 24th, 25th from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Oh my goodness.
October the 27th, 28th, and 29th, and 30th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And part of the proceeds are going to the Talladega Rescue Squad. Now, folks, if you've not been out to Top Trails, the 2,800-acre park out Brecon, you don't know what you missed. But they've taken one of those old World War II bunkers. Those things are huge. I mean, they're bigger than huge. They're big. And they have taken one of those things and decorated it and turned it around and made a bunker of doom.
What a great idea.
And they say that is absolutely awesome. This is going to be 24th, 25th, 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. 6 p.m. to 11 on the 24th and 25th, and 6 p.m. to 9 on the 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. You go on out, I think it's maybe $5, not much. It's very inexpensive, but I understand that it's unreal. You go on out and be a part of that. The election is coming up November the 4th, the general election. The October the 30th is the last day for voters to make applications for an absentee ballot. Now, if you're sick or handicapped or going to be out of town, you can go down and apply for an absentee ballot. But if you just don't feel good and you're lazy, get up and go vote on the 4th. Don't go get an absentee ballot.
Are you running from anything this year?
I'm not running for nothing. I'm not running from anything. Next year, folks, will be the day if I decide to run again. But please, and we've shared with you, please go register to vote. If you're not a registered voter, please go register to vote. And I said last week, if you don't have a way to the polls and you don't have a voter ID or don't have a picture, Don't let that stop you from going to the polls and vote. If you'll call me, if you don't have a ride, you call me and I'll call Charlotte. And Charlotte will come and get you and take you to the register, or I'll be glad to take you. We can get you to get a picture if you, but don't use that as an excuse. Well, I don't have a voter, I don't have an ID of myself. That's no excuse.
No excuse.
That just means you don't want to vote.
That's right.
And if you are registered to vote and you don't go vote, you need to keep your mouth shut about who gets elected.
That's right.
This is your time. This is your time to say, okay, we're happy with what we've got in office. We're not happy, and we're going to make a change. And this is your opportunity. Every 4 years, you get a chance to make this change. Nonpartisan Community Town Hall Meeting, Pine Grove Missionary Baptist Church. This is in the Community Hall, 500 Drew Avenue in Lincoln, Thursday, October the 30th, 7 to 8:30 p.m. A nonpartisan community town hall meeting. Top Trails Outdoor Park, November the 1st. It's a Saturday. Poker run. What's a poker run?
Oh, it is the most
motorcycle
fun.
ride.
It's four-wheelers. I think it'd be four-wheelers.
I thought it might be card playing. I show you
no.
what I know about.
No, it is a lot of fun. It's one of the most fun things I've ever done, but you will be worn out at the end.
I understand each one gets a playing card.
No, you don't get a plane.
That's what the engineer just said.
Oh, well, that's not what I got. You run as fast, you go as fast as you can.
You don't play poker, folks, and I don't know what it is. If anybody knows what a poker run is, Charlotte's telling me one thing in this ear, and the engineer telling me something in this ear.
Well, I've been on a poker run.
He says he's been in one too.
Has he? Well, they must have.
Top Trails Outdoor Park Poker Run, afternoon ride. You going out and ride, whatever it is. Saturday, November the 1st. Winner gets 2 tickets to Auburn versus Texas. This is the Top Trails Outdoor Park out in Brecon, our 2,800-acre park. Folks, it's awesome. It's a four-wheeler poker run, afternoon ride, whatever.
It's fun. Mount
Zion Missionary Baptist Church is honoring Reverend Edward and Sister Kathleen Bolden, the 15th pre-anniversary singing, November the 1st, 6 p.m. Mr. Ceremony Evangelist Audrey Shields. Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church, Reverend John L. Ragland is the pastor. And then on the 9th, on Sunday the 9th at 2:30 p.m., the 15th anniversary program of my friend and his wife, Reverend Edward and Sister Kathleen Bolton. Guest speakers, Reverend Charles E. Burton Sr., pastor of Mars Hill Missionary Baptist Church in Anniston, Alabama. And if you can, go out and be with them on that. We have let me see, James, are you there?
I am.
James, I appreciate you taking time to be with us tonight. And I want you two things. First of all, share just a little bit about what you've got going, and then before you hang up, I want us to talk about Gary Bramlett, the late Gary Bramlett, and talk about him.
All right, good, Larry. Thank you for having me on. We wanted to announce on Larry's program we've embarked on an exciting new project that we hope will mean some great things and wonderful things for the viewers of this program and people of Talladega. You've heard a lot of complaints about people that are having difficulty with the cable companies and they can't get the signal and it's messed up and what have you. Well, we here at our network, we have affiliated with Worldwide International Worldwide Internet TV.com. And what this is an international cable television company that's on the internet out of the Netherlands, and you can go to my site or Larry's site, either one, click on the link and you go immediately and have a choice of over 1,350 channels to choose from. There's 57 channels from the United States. We've been doing test runs on it for about 90 days, and it just works like a charm. Larry's program is on there, so if you wanted to go there and forgot the link to watch in the interest of the people, you can watch it on that link. But it's absolutely free. There's no fee involved. All you got to do is go to one of the websites and click on it, and you're there.
James, I can't thank you enough. We've been on TV several years, been thrown off a lot, been back on, thrown off, but we ain't been thrown off the computer.
That's right.
And thanks to James Anderson, we talked a couple of years back whenever. I said, James, what do we need to do to be on the computer so we can be seen worldwide? And there was, some wheeling and dealing going on, whatever. And James said, I think I can do it. And he has. And James, how many listeners have we had on the internet since we've been on?
Well, we're bumping, let's see, I'll look at it right now, Larry. 30, as of this moment, your program alone has had 36,379.
And how many countries have we been in?
191 as of today.
There ain't many folks from the cotton mill towns of Talladega been on that kind of program.
Wow.
What is so strange, Larry, is we have more listeners and viewers in mainland China than we do anywhere else.
Do they understand us?
That just absolutely blows my mind.
Are they interpreting me and am I speaking Chinese or am I speaking English over there?
Well, I think what they do is they listen to our southern drawl and they figure something Chinese out of
That sound like Chinese the way he's talking. James, I can't thank you.
Yeah, it's just worked marvelously well, continues to work marvelously well, and we think this new thing that we're announcing today is going to mean great and wonderful things for everybody.
James, I appreciate it. Let's take just a moment. We've got a full program, but I wanted to take a moment. A longtime friend of mine, Mr. Gary Bramlett, there is a picture on the screen. Everyone that knows Gary Bramlett can tell you that they have never heard that man say a negative or a bad word against anybody. And I don't believe there's anyone in the world that has ever said anything negative or bad about Gary. He's never been in politics, for one thing. But that's a guy right here that probably everybody in the world that knew him loved him. And he was Mr.
To say that very thing, Larry. I've known and worked with Gary very closely for 40 years.
He was one of the original folks with the Channel 7, wasn't it, in the old days?
Yeah. And I never heard him ever once say an unkind word about anyone. He was always positive and upbeat. And but what I wanted to say mostly, and I would have felt remiss of not saying this on his passing yesterday, but he meant a lot to when we started the local channel in Talladega, Channel 7. We added Gary's gospel music program and juiced it up a little bit and then added some TV techniques to it. And he was our most popular program for many, many years. And he enjoyed that thoroughly. We enjoyed working with him. I remember one of the most vivid memories is he and a TV film crew and I went to Chattanooga and filmed a Christmas special on the Chattanooga riverboat of gospel and Christian music. And Gary he was on cloud nine about that, and we will really miss him.
Gary passed away yesterday, 79 years of age. The funeral will be at Talladega Funeral Home tomorrow at, 1
o'clock.
1 o'clock, yeah, 1 o'clock tomorrow. And I talked with his daughter this afternoon, and of course I shared with her that Gary was a personal friend of mine. He was Mr. Piggly Wiggly for years. I guarantee you he kept Mr. Lovern in business.
Oh, absolutely.
Gary did it all in that store. He cashiered, he ran stock grocer, swept the floor. He just, and I never saw him walk. I didn't know whether he knew how to walk or not. He ran.
Yeah.
Everywhere he went, Gary ran. And then he went to work at Walmart in Anniston for a while, and he ran up there.
Yeah. Well, Larry, I got one quick thing before I go I wanted to say about him. Is when I came to Talladega in August of 1976 to interview for a local business here that I went to work for, Gary was the very first person I ever met in Talladega. And I have never forgotten that, about what a positive influence that he made on me. And, of course, we remained friends until he passed away.
Right. Gary's just one of those kind. You just don't see many of them in our world. If you had everybody like Gary Bramlett, you would not need any police officer other than just working wrecks or something. He's just one of those kind.
Absolutely.
And we're going to miss Gary. We're sending our condolences out to his wife and daughter, Miss Robbie, and all the relatives. We send our condolences out. And any way we can help them, we're here for them. James, I appreciate you being with us. We'll get you on here one of these days where we can spend more time and talk about the old days.
Okay, we will do it.
Appreciate it, James.
Thanks for having me.
Okay.
He's made us world travelers.
Gary Bramlett was just one of those kind of people, Charlotte, that everybody that knew him just loved Gary. Funeral will be at Talladega Funeral Home on Monday at 1 p.m. And the family appreciates all the calls they've received thus far and all the everything you've done for the family. They said thank you for everything you've done. One other thing before we go to a break. This coming Tuesday night, March the 4th. Now, we know that March the 4th is not Tuesday night.
No.
But this is one of the fall 2014 series at the Ritz Theater, Tuesday, October the 28th, 7 p.m. March the 4th Marching Band show includes M4's Gospel from the Disney hit Munster University, and it says this is the kind of spectacular that deserves the word awesome. That's what the Atlanta Journal-Constitution said about it. Right here in Talladega, folks, we're getting some of the greatest things coming to our Ritz Theater that you would normally see in New York, Atlanta, and some of the bigger cities. But George Culver is bringing these shows in, and we encourage you to go ahead and call and get your ticket. Also, November the 13th at 7 p.m., it's on a Thursday night, Guy Penrod. You know, he's a gospel singer, Grammy and GMA Dove Award winner, one of the most in-demand touring artists in Christian music. He will be at the Ritz on Thursday, November the 13th, 7 p.m., and I understand that the tickets are going like crazy. So if you want to go to these programs, contact the Ritz Theater and be a part of that. Got to go to break, and we'll be right back with Dr. Billy Hawkins.
Planning a get-together, sporting event, or special occasion, let CG's help make the event more enjoyable. CG's can advise you on a favorite champagne or special wine imported from all over the world, as well as from New York and California. Perhaps you'd rather choose a muscadine wine from Alabama. CG's also has a nice selection of the latest in stemless wine glasses or champagne and water glasses. Only at CG's can you obtain your favorite imported beer, party supplies, mixes, and a variety of nuts. By the way, don't forget a gift for your favorite hostess. Visit CG's, conveniently located in Talladega at the corner of Howard and West.
A death is a troubling time for any family. Talladega Funeral Home offers dignity, respect, professionalism, commitment, and fairness to all families in need. We listen carefully. We know that some of us find great comfort in traditions, and we work tirelessly to honor those traditions. Our professional team gets to know each and every family member to help each and every individual remember, share, and ultimately move towards healing. Contact Brittany Boozer at Talladega Funeral Home today, 256-362-0111. Talladega Funeral Home. We care because every life has a story.
Have you tried one of these? This is so good. Man, I can't believe we haven't done this before. Oh, wow, look at that. Want a bite? You're aging. Do the jingle. Do the jingle. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hey, guys. Do it again. Do it again. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. In my office.
State Farm.
I think we're good. State Farm agents are there when you need them.
I'm Sheriff Jimmy Kilgore. When former Sheriff Jerry Studdard appointed me as his chief deputy, and 13 years later, Governor Bentley chose me to succeed him as your sheriff, I made both the same promise to take care of the needs of you, the citizens of Talladega County. Now I'm asking you to go back to the polls on November 4th and keep me, Sheriff Jimmy Kilgore, working for you.
It's nearly voting time.
It is. Are you awake?
Yes, and you made fun of me last week.
Folks, if Charlotte don't start getting some sleep, I'm going to stop her from sleeping on this show now. I mean, I picked out, these lights bother her, and
Yes,
it looks like she's trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I got to watching the rerun the other day, and I'm telling you, watch me. Can you put
light-
that camera in my face, folks?
Yeah.
Engineer, put that camera over here on me.
The lights are bright.
Put the camera on me, Mr. Engineer.
Can I wear my sunglasses?
There we go. What? This is Charlotte sometime.
I'm going to wear my sunglasses. Yeah. It's got, you're headed for trouble.
These lights are bad, and
they are.
I'm going to have to get her a pair of sunglasses or get her some toothpicks to put in those eyelids.
And you know what? I do get sleepy at 8 o'clock.
Really?
I'm gone. I'm not a nightlight.
You get up, what, 4:30 in the morning?
I do.
And go all day.
Yep.
Runs one store, runs a farm. She stays busy. But we're trying to get hold of Dr. Billy Hawkins. He's supposed to be our guest on here in just a few minutes. But Mr. Engineer, we can. Well, before we do we have the interview with Brian White ready? Let's go ahead and show the interview with Brian White, and then we'll try to get Dr. Billy Hawkins. And then we want to show you the Pop the Top soda shop.
Wow.
That they came in here with a NASCAR and filmed. And I'm telling you, it's great. But let's go with the interview with Brian White first. We were talking with a longtime resident of Sylacauga, well known in the area here, Mr. Brian White. And this coming weekend, they're having Brian White Day in Sylacauga. And to be here with us to talk about this is Miss Kathy Ryan and Miss Beverly White to share a little bit about the Brian White Day. If you will, Miss Kathy, tell us a little bit about Brian White Day.
Okay, we are really having a lot planned for that day at Bluebell Park here in Sylacauga. We're going to have a 5K run and walk starting at 7 o'clock. and or is it 8 o'clock? I think it's 8 o'clock.
7 o'clock is
the
registration.
7 o'clock is registration. The run actually starts at 8 o'clock. And then we have a kids run right immediately after that. And all the kids are encouraged to come and wear your Halloween costumes, no mask, and we'll just have a fun time having a cute little run for the kids. And then we're going to have the whole rest of the day. We have over 40 craft vendors that are going to be in the park. And we have music and entertainers all day. We're going to have a silent auction, and we're going to have homemade pound cakes made by the Amazing Grace Girls. That's what we have called the group of girls. We all graduated with Beverly, and we have all come together to do this fundraiser, and we're hoping to raise enough funds for Beverly and Brian a wheelchair accessible van. And Brian is so excited about this van.
I appreciate that, Miss Kathy. Let's, Miss Beverly, if you would, tell us a little bit about Brian White Day. Why we're having a Brian White Day? I know we're having for raising money for a wheelchair, but let's talk a little bit about Brian.
Brian is 34 years old, and he was born with cerebral palsy and intellectual disabilities. He has gotten to the point, he has gone through stages where when he was young, surgeries allowed him to walk with the assistance of a quad cane, the four-pronged cane. But in the last 8 years, I guess, he has become totally dependent on the wheelchair. Now, he can transfer from his bed to the wheelchair, or for toileting, he can transfer to the wheelchair to the toilet. But it's getting harder and harder. The past few weeks, he's needed a lot of assistance that way. And, of course, getting in and out of the car. Sometimes he can't quite make it. And, we are seeing I am seeing a digression in what he can do. So, and as Brian will tell you, I'm old. All of us we all graduated in 1972 together, which makes us, do the math, we're all 60. So, unfortunately, you don't go down, it goes up. It's not going to be 59 next year. So these girls got together and came up with this idea, and they really didn't tell me about it until they had been 4 months, I guess, or 5 into the planning of this event. And I think they know why. I know why they wouldn't tell me, because I probably would have said no.
Ms. White, I appreciate y'all taking time to be on our program tonight, and we hope that you will turn out in record numbers this weekend for the Brian White Day. Brian, you want to encourage everyone to come out and be a part of this program?
Yeah.
Tell them to come on out.
Out.
Come on out. Yeah. Come on out and be a part of the Brian White Day and help raise money for this very needed project. And we can't thank Miss Kathy Ryan and Miss Beverly White enough for being a part of this and being here tonight. And anything else you would like to add? Ice cream, be plenty of ice cream?
Plenty of ice cream, plenty of food.
29 barbecue.
We have 29 barbecue that's coming from Newnan, Georgia. We just happened to see 29 barbecue at Oxford, at their Oxford Fest, and they have agreed to come, and 100% of their profit they're donating to this cause. It's just unbelievable how nice everyone has been and shown their love and support for Brian and Beverly. We're just really excited.
That's this coming Saturday night. Saturday all day.
This coming Saturday all day at Bluebell Park.
Come and stay all day and eat bluebell cream and barbecue.
And they make Brunswick stew.
And get fat like me. We encourage you once again to be a part of this weekend, and thank you for watching the program. And we're counting on you. We want you to be there for Brian and help these folks out. I know Talladega County and Sylacauga has always been there to help the folks who have a need in their life. And we expect the same thing this weekend. Brian White Day this Saturday in Sylacauga. See you there. That's a great event.
Great event.
We hope everyone will turn out in record numbers to help raise funds for Brian and get this van they need so desperately. I worked with cerebral palsy in Anderson for many years. I was on the board for about 15, 16 years, and I can appreciate what the folks are going through with trying to get these young ones in and out, and even adults in and out. but we appreciate everyone trying to work to raise the funds, and we hope you're trying a record number Saturday. Dr. Billy Hawkins, are you on the phone, sir?
Yes, Mayor. How you doing?
I'm fine. I apologize for getting you away from. I understand you got a big concert going on up there at the auditorium tonight.
Yes, we do. Yeah. It's a gospel concert kicking off Founders and Homecoming Week.
Very good. You got a big deal going next weekend. You got a parade, and then all kind of activities.
Oh yes. It's going to be a long week. A lot of festivities going on.
Let's and yesterday, I can't say it was the beginning of it, or yesterday Saturday, but let's talk about the parade you was in Birmingham, the Classic. Let's talk about that. Then you went on up to Jacksonville. You was up there for the halftime program. Let's share with the people about this.
Yes, actually, yesterday was a great day. Our outstanding marching band had the opportunity to perform in the McDonald's Magic City Classic Parade yesterday. We've got over 250 marched yesterday, and of course, this band is just about at 300, and so doing an outstanding job. Also, our Queen and King was in the parade as well yesterday in Birmingham. Big parade, probably lasted over 3.5 hours or so. But we had a long day with our students yesterday because they left Birmingham and then went on to Jacksonville State University. We were invited to be guests as a part of their halftime show yesterday, and I tell you, that was really a great treat for our students, for our marching band to have that opportunity to go over there and be a part of the halftime festivities. Jackson State University, great university, great president. He's been over 16 years, and he and I've been friends since I've been here in Alabama, and it was a pleasure to have that invite on yesterday. And so our students really enjoyed it. I think what was the culmination of that, after the ball game, our students at Jacksonville State, their marching band, our marching band, they fellowshiped, they hugged one another, shook each other's hand, and it was just a really, really blessed day yesterday. And so I was real excited to be a part of those festivities at Jacksonville State University.
Dr. Hawkins, I really appreciate what you're doing for the school. You've been there, about 6 years now? And
yes, I've been there 6 years.
And you have completely turned the college around. It used to run 150, 200 students. Now you're up almost 1,000. You had no...
Yeah, we came in over 1,000 this fall.
Fantastic. You didn't have a...
And growing. And so we expect a lot of great things to be happening here in the near future. We got a couple, three new buildings that we're trying to get started over here. Of course, we're raising monies right now for the museum to house the murals once they return back home within the next couple years. As well as, we're in the process of building a new student activity, new 3,000-seat arena on the campus, and then we're going to build a new dormitory as well. So, we got growing pains, and so we're working on securing funding to move those projects forward.
When you came to Talladega, you did not have hardly any sports. You did not have a band, and you had a choir. But under your leadership, you've gone from 0 band members to almost 300. Your choir is running close to 100, and you've got every kind of ball team known to man winning championships. You've just outstanding.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've had great success with athletic programs, and I tell you that probably the one I'm most proud of, because Talladega College has always stood for academic excellence. Very proud of the Presidential Honor Society that we started a couple of years ago. We've got nearly 95 students that's in that program. It must be a 3.5 and above to be a part of the Presidential Honors Society. And so I'm just really, really, really excited about the scholarship that I see that our students are displaying. So it's things are going well. Just got to continue to move forward. And I tell you what we really need is community support is very, very important to this college, to the students, and been working very, very hard to get the community to really understand and appreciate the economic impact that this institution has on the city of Talladega. That's very, very important to us, and we'll continue to work to partner with the city council and other leaders here in the city to really recognize and appreciate the fact of they've got a gem of a great institution. This year we'll celebrate 48 years of existence, and that speaks volume in itself for an institution that has been around 148 years. So we'll continue to press forward, and we have a great student body here, great student leadership, and we appreciate your support that you continue to give us here at the institution, not only financially, but you give us support in every way possible. Continue to uplift the great name of this great institution.
Dr. Hogan, I appreciate you. I appreciate the college and what it means to our city. We appreciate all the folks. And I don't think our merchants really understand the economic impact. When you have 1,000 students in a college within 5 minutes of downtown Talladega, they spend a lot of money through the weeks, months, and I know Charlotte benefits drastically off of her stores. They're in there shopping and buying soft drinks and whatever the groceries they need that they don't, maybe for snacks and so forth, and she knows firsthand the benefit. Also, what it means to our overall merchants. We can't thank you enough for what you're doing. Everybody loves a parade, Dr. Hawkins. Tell us about your parade this Saturday.
Well, the parade at 10 o'clock Saturday morning, of course, that's our annual homecoming parade. And I tell you, to the community, if you have not seen the Marching Tornadoes, that's that band, I tell you, you won't be disappointed if you have the opportunity to come out and see this marching band in this parade on Saturday. They thoroughly enjoyed their performance over at Jacksonville yesterday, and I know this coming Tuesday, Mayor, there's going to be a major announcement. I can't really shed much about that tonight, but this coming Tuesday, there's going to be a major press release on our marching band. But something very special just happened to these students. That'll be an upcoming event that they'll be a part of the first of the year, and so that'll be announced on Tuesday. But it's a great parade, and clearly we're encouraging community participation in the parade on Saturday. Of course, we've got activity. Queen's Coordination this Friday night, and then the parade on Saturday morning. We've got 2 basketball games Saturday afternoon that will officially open the basketball season. In Birmingham, Southern men are coming down to play our men's basketball, and Allen University from South Carolina will come and play against our women's team. And then there's the students who've got dance, and there's a fraternity sororities will have that show on Saturday evening, and then we will culminate the event at the Elks Club. We bring in a very well-known singer by the name of Carl Thomas. Will be here singing at the Elks to sort of culminate the activities on Saturday. Tickets are $20. I don't know where you could come and hear a famous R&B singer and Carl Thomas. And then on Sunday morning, we'll culminate our Founders Weekend activities with our Founders program on Sunday morning in our chapel at 9 o'clock. And we invite all the public to come out and support that as well.
Mayor and I are going to try to be with you Sunday morning. Dr. Hogan, I appreciate you taking time. I know you want to get back into the singing up there, but we stand ready to assist you any way we can.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate your support.
Thank you, sir. We got to go to a break. We're going to, excuse me.
He is driven.
Oh, he's done a great job.
He has done
He's turning that college around.
And
and if you've not heard that college choir and that band, folks, you know what you're missing. We've got to go to a break, and we're going to be back with Dr. Angela Fears, who is running for state representative on the independent ticket. And folks, she is on the ballot. Don't believe all this garbage that you got to write her name in. That's not true. We'll be talking about that. She is on the ballot. And you have a chance, if you're not happy with what you've had for 20 years, you got a chance next week to change it. Be right back.
Planning a get-together, sporting event, or special occasion, let CG's help make the event more enjoyable. CG's can advise you on a favorite champagne or special wine imported from all over the world, as well as from New York and California. Perhaps you'd rather choose a muscadine wine from Alabama. CG's also has a nice selection of the latest in stemless wine glasses or champagne and water glasses. Only at CG's can you obtain your favorite imported beer, party supplies, mixes, and a variety of nuts. By the way, don't forget a gift for your favorite hostess. Visit CG's, conveniently located in Talladega at the corner of Howard and West.
A death is a troubling time for any family. Talladega Funeral Home offers dignity, respect, professionalism, commitment, and fairness to all families in need. We listen carefully. We know that some of us find great comfort in traditions, and we work tirelessly to honor those traditions. Our professional team gets to know each and every family member to help each and every individual remember, share, and ultimately move towards healing. Contact Brittany Boozer at Talladega Funeral Home today, 256-362-0111. Talladega Funeral Home. We care because every life has a story.
Have you tried one of these? This is so good. Man, I can't believe we haven't done this before. Oh, wow, look at that. Want a bite? You're aging. Do the jingle. Do the jingle. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hey, guys. Do it again. Do it again. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. In my office.
State Farm.
I think we're good.
State Farm agents are there when you need them.
I'm Sheriff Jimmy Kilgore. When former Sheriff Jerry Studdard appointed me as his chief deputy, and 13 years later, Governor Bentley chose me to succeed him as your sheriff, I made both the same promise to take care of the needs of you, the citizens of Talladega County. Now I'm asking you to go back to the polls on November 4th and keep me, Sheriff Jimmy Kilgore, working for you.
Welcome back.
Fast moving program.
Finally.
Yeah. Don't forget, funeral for Gary Bramlett will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock at Talladega Funeral Home. Gary Bramlett passed away yesterday, well known throughout the country, I guess. Worked at Walmart in Anderson for a long time, Oxford, and worked at Piggly Wiggly in Talladega ever since I can remember. He had a gospel program on this station, had a radio program on WNUZ for years. Gary was, he was just one of those kind. Never a negative word about anybody, and I've never heard anybody say negative about Gary. It's sad for the family and sad for the folks that knew him, but it's way of life, folks. We all got to face that one of these days. We want to show you, we got a film called Pop the Top Soda Shop that was done by NASCAR folks. We're not going to have time to show the entirety tonight, but we want to show you just a little bit of it, and next week we'll have more time. We'll not have as many guests, and we will play the whole film next week.
When I think of Talladega Superspeedway, I think of action. When I think of everything around Talladega Superspeedway, I think of Southern hospitality. And there's no better example of Southern hospitality than hanging out with the mayor of Talladega at the Pop the Top Soda Shop.
In Talladega, where we're open for business.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I'm going to eat all your ice cream.
No.
Oh, yeah. This place is a snapshot straight out of the 1950s. Even the employees dress like it. From the soda jerks working the counter to the 50s music, it is legit. Owner Ryan Hall says it's about celebrating a great era with all generations.
The history of Talladega I wanted to bring back that older time. We've got a lot of older people that live in the town and a lot of younger ones that have never experienced that before. So it's really neat that they get to come in, experience the 50s music, the chilled glasses, the old bottled drinks, and then Bluebell ice cream.
Pop the Top serves up treats like the Dega Dog, banana splits, and amazing hand-spun milkshakes. But we're here for one thing, the 10-car pileup challenge. All right, what exactly is this 10-car pileup?
The 10-car pileup is 10 scoops of
Next week, folks, we'll show you the old footage. They bring this bowl of ice cream out, 10 scoops of ice cream, and he's got 10 minutes to eat 10 scoops of ice cream.
Will he
covered
do
with
it?
syrup, covered with peanuts or goodies or whatever, and I'm telling you, folks, it's awesome. It's
a job.
And this video, NASCAR came in and did this, and it's shown all over the world, and we appreciate Pop the Top Soda Shop opening in Talladega. Next week, we'll show the entire program. Right now, don't forget Stampede Restaurant. Speaking of food, Stampede Restaurant is there 7 days a week from about 11 in the morning till about 8 o'clock at night. They got any kind of food you could possibly want, and you can tell I'm there pretty regular. The other night we were watching a rerun of our program, and my wife says, "When's the baby due?" That's enough to get her divorced, folks.
That's not
But
right.
I got to go on a diet or do something else. But don't forget Stampede Restaurant, any kind of food you could possibly want, and we're there on a regular basis. Dr. Angela Fears, you're down to the wire, worse than a race.
Yes, sir. I feel every minute of
About
it.
one lap left, about 1 week from Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It hasn't affected your smile. I mean, of course, you're not in office yet. You haven't been cussed out and cussed on and cussed about and lied on yet.
No gray hairs, but, you know.
That'll come after you get in office. I tell people, I said, you're sworn in and then you're sworn out.
Right.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's great.
How's it going on the campaign trail?
It's been experience. It's very good. I've enjoyed it.
Nothing like it, is it?
Very inspirational. A lot of work, but I've enjoyed it. I have definitely enjoyed it.
You're down to a week from Tuesday. You're running as an independent candidate. A lot of people say, well, her name ain't on the ballot, folks. You got to write it in. That's a lie. Ain't nothing to it. She is on the ballot, and she'll be listed, be the Democrat candidate be first, and then the independent candidate.
Correct.
There is no Republican candidate, so
No,
it's just
sir.
two names.
Under state representative, it's actually in the second column, under state representative, and don't go straight Democratic. You can do a split ticket because it's independent. Don't be lazy. Go and look at every name, vote one by one, see fears. Fear not. An opportunity to change, to make a change, and an opportunity just to have another option. And that's where you will find my name, independent.
Dr. Fears is a resident of Anniston.
Yes.
2 children, Carlton and Traviana.
Traviana. Yes.
She has a high school graduate from Anniston,
Yes.
class of '83. She's a graduate. You just heard Dr. Hawkins speaking. Dr. Fears is also a graduate of Talladega College. Received a BA in biology, pre-med. She received a medical degree from American University. Her certifications include advanced preparatory program for prospective health science, first aid and CPR instruction, Red Cross, Modeling Association of American, Macy's Modeling School. Now help me there. You was a model.
Macy, you remember Macy a long time ago. She had a modeling school in Anniston, Alabama, and this was the only modeling school there. And my mother used to work with her at the radio building. Okay. And she took a liking to me, if you will, and she wanted me to be a part of her program. And so while I was attending Talladega College, my mother gave me an option. She said, you can take modeling for Macy, because my mother thought that I was a tomboy, so she wanted me to be a lady. So Macy was impressed with me, and so I was able to work or to go to school and do modeling because she wanted me to learn how to walk and how to use a fork and, you know, the Southern thing. Yeah. And then while I was going to Talladega College, she paid for me to go to Macy's modeling school, and that's where I was. And I chose that instead of going to pilot school, stewardess school. And
so you was a stewardess too?
No, I chose to go. The modeling school, stay at Talladega, and then get a car.
We didn't know anything about etiquette when I was raised up in Beamerton. We just sat down at the table, and if you had a fork, fine. If you didn't, you use your finger to eat the chicken. You know.
Well, they taught you.
But as you get older, you got to use this little fork for this, and you got to use this big fork for that, and you got to lay it on the right side, and you got to have a certain napkin for this, and you got to. I just like going and eating.
Well, Macy said, she said, whenever you eat chicken, then it's okay to use your fingers. Mm-hmm. That's the only part of the meat, or the only meat that you can use fork with. You don't have to use a fork.
You got to use your finger to pick that bone up.
Right, you have to do it.
Have you tried to hem up a chicken leg with a?
And it flies. It flies. It flies.
It does. Let's get on. She's got more, folks. Psychometric sampling collector.
Yes, sir. That's drug screening.
Okay.
Testing the hair.
Breath and alcohol technician, profile 211A or 2A forensics, quality services.
Yes, sir.
Drug screening, substitute teacher for Anderson, Jacksonville, and Calhoun County. And folks, I'm telling you, I don't know when she's got time to go home. And when she gets to be elected representative, she is going to be a busy lady. Just for a second or two, tell the folks some people say, what does she do? What type of work does she do? Look at this camera right here and share with them.
Before I started with my campaign, I actually started my business in DNA forensics and drug screening. And what we do is when you go on Mari's show and you find out whether or not the father is the father, and usually it's daddy's, mama's baby, daddy's maybe. We're the ones that you come to and find out whether or not you're the father. And also with the forensics, we actually work with different drugs, different coroners to figure out why someone needs to be fingerprinted, and then we do health and wellness. Go to different cities, and we do health and wellness for insurance companies for the HR. And so it just depends on what they request, and we accommodate them.
So who the baby daddy is? Have you been on Jerry Springer's show with any of your results? Or?
No, we just keep it in Alabama.
Keep it locally.
So if you need us, let us know. So we'll let you know.
I'm always fascinated by how these TV shows, they can come and get the DNA and they can solve a crime. Our police officers spend weeks and months in trying to solve a crime, and they can do it on television in 45 minutes. From the time the crime is committed till it ends. But our police, they need to take some lessons on television and learn how to solve all this crime in an hour.
But it only takes really less than a week to get the DNA.
Yeah.
And then we
but
do
aren't
50,
you having
15
problems in Calhoun County getting results, forensic science? Didn't the lab shut down there in Jacksonville?
Well, we used a lab that's out of the city and out of the state. So we have like about 3 or 4 different labs that we do use here with my company. So it's pretty.
Do you work for any of the cities or all the cities, or are you just open to anyone?
Well, I'm open. I'm private. I'm open. You hire us individually. We're independent contractors. So if you hire us, we are sworn to confidentiality. So lawyers can hire us. We're 99.9% accurate, and you can use us in any court of law to verify whatever you need to have.
Let's talk about politics.
Okay.
Your opponent, Dr. Boyd, has been down there about 20 years, and and I'm not here to badmouth anybody. I've invited Dr. Boyd to be on our program. She refused to be on here. All I can do is ask. We tried for several years to get her on our program. We had her on there one time years ago, and she won't come back. All we want to do is just ask the question: what have you done in 20 years? I can't find anything particular, and I like Dr. Boyd as an individual, but I don't think she's been effective in Montgomery, personally. Have you done any research on bills that she has passed for Talladega County or Talladega City?
Well, when it comes to the bills, now I know in doing the research, for every 2 years, you're supposed to have at least 4,000 bills that's supposed to be presented.
Is that from individual people?
2 years.
Overall?
This is for overall for the state representative. Okay. And out of those 2 years, you should have had at least 600 to 800 bills.
Individually?
Individually, 600 to 800 bills that should have gone to be into law. That affects the district. But out of those 20 years, I have not seen, and I've inquired about it and we've tried to research it. There were a couple of cosigns, but I've tried to research it and see what was something that I can actually piggyback on in the process of getting into the system, into the state, but I haven't actually been able to find any, so we'll continue to search and go from there, but right now.
You can't really, and I'm not being critical, folks. I don't know what she's done. I know there's one bill that she either sponsored or co-sponsored with Steve Hurst to allow you to have keg beer in the county or in the city, whatever. But other than that, I'm not aware of anything. And Dr. Boyd, you still have next week. I welcome you to be on here next week. If you'd like to be a guest on here, I welcome you to be on our program.
Yes.
And reading the news and looking at politics as such, according to the folks in power in Montgomery, whoever takes office is looking at a $200 million deficit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
That's more than I'm making a year.
Yes.
$200 million. Dr. Boyd has been a part of this $200 million deficit. What, if you're elected, what is your plan to try to turn this deficit around without raising more taxes on people.
Well, it's very interesting because I can't do it by myself. And so that means that I have to go down and research and find out what's going on and what revenues can be taken. Now, I look into different programs, but before I can even look into programs, I have to find out what revenues I need to take to make sure that it goes well within the means of that what's down there in Montgomery. So as far as looking into federal grants and federal funding, those are the things that we have to look into, and it takes research, but it takes me being in position to go down there to research and read and find out what's in the best interest of the district so we can get out the deficit. But it will not take it will take longer. I mean, since it took 20 years and 30 years for the ones that's down there to get into this mess, it's going to take a little bit longer for us to get out of it. But we'll do my best to try to get in there and get my feet dirty and get my hands all dirty to figure out what we can do to help our district and our state.
One of the lies that are being told is if Dr. Fears is elected, she's an independent. She won't have the support of the Republicans or the Democrats. How do you respond to that?
That's not true, because of the fact that if the people realize that it's not about the party, it's about who's going to be there for the people, who's going to serve the people, who's going to commit to the people, then I think we will understand that it's time for a change. It's time for everybody to stop allowing someone to tell them what to do and how to do it, and start looking around, and if you're happy with the things that you have in your presence for your community, your property, your senior citizens, your school system, your deficit, then you vote those people right back in there based on their party, and you all continue to live just like you are. But if you are not happy with where you are, you stop looking at these parties and understand that it's about the people. It's about what you need. Not about the parties or the social class or da-da-da. It's about what you need to make a better district, and that's what I'm talking about.
Well, so many years the Republican Party has beat up on the Democrat Party that they are the party of the homosexuals, they're the party of the same-sex marriages, they're the party of this, they're the party of that. But if I read the paper, and as I read the paper, it looks like you've got about as many Republicans screwing up as you do Democrats. Just this last week in one of the Carolinas, one of the head men up there is having to step down because of ethics violation. Last week the paper was full of Mr. Hubbard. Had been charged with, indicted for 23 felony counts. And he's a Republican, one of the most powerful Republicans in the state. Mm-hmm. So it's time that we quit labeling people because of whether they're a Democrat or whether they're a Republican. Everyone is human beings. And I realize we have parties, I understand all that. But I've always voted for the individual person who I thought would be best for my city, best for my county. And I would think that Dr. Fears, as an independent, would not be obligated to either side, and she can go in there with a clear mind and build a coalition of both parties. It's obvious that Dr. Boyd been there 20 years and $200 million in the hole. Apparently she doesn't have too much rapport with either party. She's not lined up with either one, so apparently nothing getting done. And once again, Dr. Boyd, I welcome you. Come on next Sunday. I'm holding a place for you. You're welcome to be on there next Sunday, and let's talk about your 20 years. You're going to have a lot of issues facing the state. Yes. Gambling, lottery, yes, same-sex marriage, Common Core, yes, affordable care. Yes. You're going to be hit with anything and everything. Are you prepared to stick your feet in the mud and say, come on, boys, let's go?
Well, it's really interesting because I'm hit with those situations anyway, whether I'm a state representative or whether I'm a medical educator or whether I'm just a plain constituent. So either way, you have to face the issues, because as the people, as being just a lay person, you have to also face the issues, and you have to voice your opinion. You have to voice what is going to make a difference, whether you're at the Capitol, whether you are just a plain citizen. It is very important that we start to voice what is important and is what is going to be in the best interest of us And when I say us, that's the people and that's everybody that's living in the district. It's not just a one-man world, it's an everybody world. We are a melting pot, and together we stand. Together we will stand, and divided we will fall. And it's not a big me and a big you. It's a togetherness, and that's the only way that we're going to come out of this hole that we have managed to dig ourselves in. Not that it's impossible, but with unity we can do it, and we have to look at people together as a whole, the officers and people that have been placed in positions and people that are looking to get into other positions. We just get it together, and we put our heads together and we figure out a solution. The solution is coming up with something that could help the people, that we can help each other. Whatever affects the poor, it's going to affect the rich. Whatever affects the black, it's going to affect the white. There's no exception to the rule. All of us are in this together, and it's high time we decide that and stop looking to everybody else, blaming everybody else, and bring the accountability to ourselves.
The issue of Sunday liquor sales, bingo, gambling, lottery, our state representative refused to allow the folks with Talladega to vote on Sunday alcohol sales. My opinion is if it's wrong to drink on Sunday, it'd be wrong to drink Monday through Saturday. But regardless, do you think that a legislator should refuse to let the people vote on an issue that they want, or do you think that the people should be allowed to vote and make that decision, not just one individual?
Well, the situation, in my case, because I'm a representative and the people are supposed to vote, then I think that's what they're supposed to do. I myself, I'm not a big drinker, and I figured I'm kind of like you too. If you drink on Monday, if you're going to drink on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you're going to do what you have to do. But once again, if the people are supposed to vote for something, then that's what they're supposed to do.
It's up to the non-drinkers to outvote them if they don't want it.
Right. I mean,
same thing on gambling.
Right. It's kind of like your amendments. If you don't get out there and you don't vote on those amendments become law. So in the end, when the amendments become law, then all of a sudden you go, that's against the law. All of a sudden, it's not against the law because you voted it and it became a law. So you have to get out there and vote. That's why voting is so important. If you don't like anything, you don't turn your head and say, well, it's a waste of time, they're going to do what they want to do. You get out there and vote. If I don't want it, I say I don't want it. Then you bring everybody in and says, don't vote for this, and give us a reason why. Not because, well, I don't like it, but vote.
We're going to forego our last break if we got one. We want to bring your son and daughter in and your campaign manager. Come on and get behind. And in the meantime, if we can, Mr. Engineer, let's let them sing a little bit. Dr. Fears is a singer, folks.
Oh, no.
Let's be playing that if we can while we bring them in here. And if we have a few, we got about a minute left.
Falling in love with Jesus. Falling in love with Jesus, falling in love with Jesus was the best thing I've ever done. Falling in love with Jesus, falling in love with Jesus, oh, falling in love with Jesus was the best thing I've ever done.
Dr. Fears, I know you involved in your church.
Yes, sir.
But as a religious person, you still have the opinion that the people should be allowed to vote.
Yes, sir.
You don't conquer the folks by your religious belief.
No, sir.
Yeah.
That's the position.
We got about 25 seconds. Let's go down the line here.
Traviana.
Is a junior? Senior.
Carlton,
he's a mathematician, folks. She's English. They making all A's and B's or A's.
Yes, sir. Play violin.
General manager.
Campaign manager.
Folks, go vote next week. If you don't go, week after, whenever it is. If you don't go vote, keep your mouth shut.
That's right.
Thank y'all for being with us. Got to go. See y'all next week.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.